Hey guys, this is George from the ShufflePod. Hey, listen, this episode this week it's focusing on hate groups. So if you guys listen to the show and you guys just want to have a good laugh and everything, this probably isn't the episode for you. If you are a horrible racist, you probably don't want to listen to it. Also because we kind of think you're shit too. So, but anyways, and we'll be back next week with more of a lighthearted episode. So without further ado, let's get to the ShufflePod.
You have selected Shuffle.
Welcome to the ShufflePod. I'm Woody.
Hey, I am George.
And I'm DJ.
Oh man, this transition over to Podbean has just been crazy.
Yeah, I think now that it's actually just kind of, been a week, right?
Yeah, it's been a full week.
Roughly.
Yeah.
I think people will start, catching on and stuff like that, and some of the bugs will be worked out. Surprisingly, Google is the one we've had the most trouble with, which I don't know. Which maybe I'm going to have to switch to Apple products now.
I don't like Google Play in general. I have still to this day, we've been on this podcast now for a little over a year.
Uh-huh.
On my computer, on my phone, on any Android device I've ever tried it on, I cannot even find where podcasts are in Google Play.
See, I'm so immersed into that Google Play Music ecosystem. I pay for the family plan and all that stuff. That's what I pretty much exclusively listen to my podcasts on, is Google Play and Stitcher. And now Podbean. Actually, Podbean's the shit. I'm
Yeah,
gonna tell
I like
you right
Podbean
now.
so far.
You can find a ton of shows. But then on the app, on that mobile app, did you boys see that you can actually tape your own podcast from the mobile app?
Right, almost like Stitcher used to do, or I don't know, they still do or whatever, but they have like their live shows where you can do it right off your phone. It's the same thing with Podbean. That might be kind of a cool way to just throw a little something up there once in a while.
Are you talking about Stitcher, Woody, or are you talking about the old Spreaker app?
Maybe that's what I'm talking about, is Spreaker.
The one where the old Goochcast used to do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
The gooch.
But as far as Google Play goes, I swear to God, I had more problems getting our podcast on there, and what it was I was getting angry because I couldn't get things up, and I was running around my house. I was kicking things. It was bad. It was bad. And then
He messed stuff up pretty bad.
yeah, I screwed it up real bad. So
yeah.
Anybody that was on Google Play had to resubscribe, and it was just.
Would you say you hate Google Play?
It was more like I hated you guys for going, hey, Woody, there's something wrong with Google Play. Our podcast won't show up. And I'm like, well, fucking fix it. I'm working on 3 other things trying to get them up and running, like tune in and everything else. And you guys are just throwing more shit at me, and I'm just having a worse time. I was like, oh my God, I was so angry.
Next time that happens, try to actually fix it right. And then, this
You're
would
right. If I'd have fixed it right the first time, but it was like you guys were all about switching over to Podbean, which I'm all about Podbean right now. I love it. I love that we're on there. I love the app and everything. But I'm like, God damn, this was their idea, and I'm doing all the fucking work trying to fix all the shit from it.
George, I felt the transition was fairly easy, didn't you?
I did too, and the only drawback I had was the day that I was texting him was my daughter's birthday party, so I was unable to break free to do that stuff, or else I probably would have tried to help a little bit.
Oh,
but my daughter has to unfortunately come first.
Now, see, actually,
the transition.
It was.
What's that?
It was my anniversary, my mom's birthday, and and we were christening my son that day, which I missed all of them.
You were actually, I think it's
because the ShufflePod comes first for some of us.
Well, I know, and you know what? I'm just a hired gun. Is basically all I am. A hired gun. All right, guys, this is the last episode of the ShufflePod. On
Before
I'm
you're
just
going to
kidding.
read in the paper that Woody went on a murderous rage.
All right. In all seriousness, I will say that now that the transition is completely good and stuff, I like Podbean a lot.
Yeah,
I do too.
I agree.
I like Woody a lot for all his work that he put into that.
Me too. Thank you.
And
Woody.
it doesn't go unnoticed. And I mean, but as the leader, as the self-proclaimed leader
I've
of the
never
ShufflePod
proclaimed myself as leader of the ShufflePod.
on air.
And ever.
In text messages, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's
He signs them.
Yeah, it's basically like
CEO.
What is it? It goes, hey guys, 10 o'clock tomorrow from your unexalted leader, Woody. And he calls us minions.
I'm okay with it.
Well,
Yeah.
one of you kind of looks like a minion. Not saying who.
It's probably me because I'm shaved head and very small and stout.
I wasn't saying anything.
Let's go stout. Gonna go with that or husky.
Pleasantly plump.
No, I think it's actually gonna. I think everything's gonna be smooth sailing from now on.
I hope so.
As soon as Google Play gets fixed.
If that's one thing on Google Play right now, it's only showing the last 20 of our shows. So if there's anything if you're on Google Play you want to listen to back, you can go to the website and go to the shows tab, and it'll
Go
take
to
you
a real podcatcher. That's all I'm saying. Go to
That's actually
iTunes.
kind of true.
Go to where you
That
can
is
actually
true.
find podcasts, not search for 6 hours.
It's actually just under the tab that says podcasts on the left-hand side.
Yeah, I don't have
not-
it, man.
It's actually not that bad. But you have to be signed in under your Gmail is what it is.
Well, speaking of all this hate, let's our show today is about hate groups.
Hate groups.
Right now I'm in a hate group of 1. No, not at all. Not at all.
So Woody is officially the 918th.
Is there
hate group
917
in America.
hate groups? Wow.
Yeah, as of
That's
2016. Yeah.
sad.
Wow.
That's just ridiculous. At this, 2016, it's 2017 now, but, God, how do you think that way anymore? Like,
George, you went through the list. Are you affiliated with any of them? That's a
A
lot.
couple of them.
Couple?
Yeah, there's a couple of them where I was like, oh shit. I didn't even know they were full of hate. Okay. I just thought they were grouchy. They'd be like, whatever they say, I'm like, yeah, the sun's bad. Yeah, fuck the sun. Let's do it.
So a lot of those hate groups are they like the militias? Are a lot of those kind of listed on there?
Yeah, and they're basically like, there's a ton of like, all right, let me just give the kind of breakdown here. Ohio, you'd be pleased to know, is full of a bunch of them.
Yeah, that doesn't shock me at all.
Yeah, the driver that went through, there's 35 registered hate groups in Ohio. But the driver that decided to drive the car through the protesters, he was from Ohio. The neo-Nazi national website is hosted in Ohio, and it's just ridiculous.
OH.
There's Blood and Honor Social Club, which is Ohio statewide. It's a racist skinhead organization. American Vanguard, surprise, they're white nationalists. Soldiers of Odin, they're anti-Muslim. The Outlaw Knights of the Ku Klux Klan, goes without saying. The National Socialist Movement.
Didn't realize they were a hate group.
Yeah, there's the neo-Nazis. There's the Southern Ohio Knights of the Ku Klux Klan.
So 2 factions. There's probably more than that.
Oh, there's more. Yeah. Aryan Nation, Sadistic Souls, Motorcycle Club. Aryan Nation is started as a prison gang, though, and so they've kind of spread out.
They're expanding. It's all about branding.
Yeah, I can't stand Nazis. Aryan Strike Force, the Ku Klux Knights of the Ku Klux Klan. Ku Klux Knights, yeah?
That's KKK.
That is a lot of. It's a stutter. I mean, it's basic. You can just go through here. There's 35 in Ohio, as of right now, and this is basically recognized groups. And then inside these groups, there's probably other little, branches.
Well,
that
probably outside the groups too. There's probably little ones all over the place that pop up that just aren't affiliated with anybody.
Yeah, and the thing that I was really surprised though in my research was there are 193 black separatist groups. Now this is as of 2015, so there may be more, but that increase is been increased exponentially. So the two largest are white supremacy groups and black separatist groups, but the anti-Muslim hate groups have grown 197%.
Yeah, those are probably exploding.
Which is, here's the thing, and I was talking to my brother last night, and I'm gonna try to keep my feelings. Nah, fuck it. All right, I was talking to my brother last night about this, and I, was like, Jimmy, I don't know how to approach this topic, and stuff. And he's like, he basically went into his, Brad Pitt. He's like, I hate Nazis, and stuff, and Nazis. And basically, he brought up a really good point. He said a lot of the hate came out during this past election because people were angry that we had a black president for the last 8 years, and that wasn't going to happen again. And I think it's deplorable. I don't know. And if any time you guys jump in here, because I don't want to get all preachy and shit, but I don't understand how people can have that rationale. There's a lot of these. He was bringing up the Confederate and American Pride groups and stuff. And he brought up a point, and I wanted to pose it to you guys. The Confederates, the Southern Pride, guys that love America, Confederates committed treason.
Right.
They wanted to succeed.
That's the way I look at it every time. There's a truck. I live in a really small town in Ohio that's known to be racist. You guys both know that.
Yeah.
It's been a little better, but this stuff cropping up lately. I passed a truck twice yesterday that's carrying a full, what size is a normal American flag? Like a standard flag. Is it like 4x6 or?
Okay. Yeah, that'd be, probably
however
what they put on
big it is.
On a pole.
Yeah, and it's on the back of a pickup truck, okay? And the first half of it is the Canton with the stars and everything, with the blue with the stars and part of the stripes. But then the second half of it's divided up into two squares. And the second half of the square, like the end part of the flag, is a square Confederate flag flying in the back of this guy's truck. And I just started seeing it. I saw it twice yesterday. I saw it a few days ago. He just put that up there. And he's driving all over the place, up and down the highway here through town, all the time. He's just driving all around town. It just drives me fucking crazy. I see more and more the Confederate flag license plates around here. It's starting to crop up. JD actually was looking at houses here. When did he move? Last year? Year and a half ago?
Yeah, something like that.
And he fell in love.
We'll give everybody his address here in a little bit. I'm going to Google it.
Well, he didn't move here, so it's okay. He kind of fell in love with the house out here. He liked it a lot. And, he's thinking about it and everything, and he drives away, and he sees two separate houses that one was flying a Confederate flag, and the other one had one of those hillbilly pallets out front, like an old pallet from a store, leaning up against a tree, painted like a Confederate flag. And he has a black girlfriend. And he's like, fuck this. Fuck it. I'm not moving here. Fuck this town. And he just drove away and never looked at another house.
And that's the thing is, I don't understand. Look, okay. It's okay to disagree with somebody, okay? And to think that people look, there's assholes on both sides of the fence in every color, race, color,
Yeah.
creed, religion,
There are.
everything. Okay, so if a person's an asshole, dislike that person. Don't dislike the person just solely based on the color of their skin, their sexual orientation, all that stuff. Because it blew me away how many of the anti, lesbian and gay groups there are.
Oh man.
Which just blows me away because I kind of think like, my God, these people that hate, the homosexual community, they kind of have to be like closet voyeurs because obviously that's the biggest thing that bothers them.
Right. What
Yeah.
is
what do I care who my neighbor sleeps with? Like I don't. I it doesn't.
right.
And if you do, you go watch in their window.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
No, it's
I would
true,
I
man.
always thought
It's
that
true.
like with our parents' generation, I thought for the longest time I thought when they kind of died out or got too old to be that
Relevant.
right, that a lot 90% of this would go away, but it hasn't. I mean
It's coming back.
it's
in a wave
it's
now.
insane.
And the thing that blew me away, and my brother brought this point up, and I was like, holy crap, he's right. We're 2 generations removed from fighting Nazis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay? And now there are a large number of people that are embracing that ideology. And I don't understand that. I don't understand.
We're getting too far from, because a lot of the ones embracing it are only 3 generations removed. They're a little younger than us, a lot of them. And I think they don't know about it. It's like, I think they only see the white ideas. And they're also confused about that because it's not white. The Nazis weren't white. They were Aryan.
Right.
I
Right.
mean, hardly any white people in America are Aryan. They just are too stupid to realize it.
Right. And I mean, I keep referencing my brother, but him and I had a pretty good conversation on this last night. He said that the most terrifying thing is if you watch those videos, and have you guys seen the piece from Vice News?
No.
Okay, it's brilliant. All right. The girl that headlined the reporting has brass balls, okay? But anyways, he said the most terrifying thing that he noticed was like a skinhead is a skinhead, you can tell it's a skinhead, okay?
Right.
But he said the most terrifying thing was these clean-cut white males that were wearing basically Dockers and a button-down shirt.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Right.
That's what I wear at work.
Yeah, and it's basically that is the most terrifying thing in his eyes, he said. And I was like, man, that's a really good point, whereas like you can tell a skinhead because they're very open about
Yes.
their
It's the
beliefs and stuff.
It's the closeted neo-Nazis.
Yes, and I think it's ignorant to think that this that these feelings weren't there in the last 10, 20 years. Okay, I get that, but the way that everything has been exposed recently, I think it's terrifying.
My personal opinion of it was in 2008 when Obama won the election, a lot of people started instantly hating him. Instantly. Just, he could do no right, no matter what he did. Everything he thought of was wrong. And that's
Right.
because he's black and his name was Obama.
His
it's
middle
kind of a
name was
double whammy.
Hussein.
Right. He's Hussein! How many times did you hear that during those elections?
I know,
And I think...
and it was a lot of the birthers and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, they're definitely, the birthers are racist. I mean, they would never look at who was it? Ted Cruz was born in Canada. Did you hear one person on that side say, "Well, he wasn't even born here"? No, and he actually wasn't. But I think a lot of them got started in '08 all the way through 16. But when Trump got elected, I think they looked at it as it's all right. Now I can say it.
Right.
You know?
Right. One of ours is in the office, and now I can. Yeah.
And I don't think Trump truly is that racist. I think he doesn't care about it. I think that's safe to say. He doesn't care, which is just as bad, I guess.
Yeah,
but
and what
I don't
what
think
you're
he's
getting,
dropping N-bombs in private. You know,
He might
No,
be,
I don't.
but I'm where I'm at with that is like, you know, he might be, and he might be savvy enough to keep that out of the news and out of, you know, like, you know, only let people like real close to him hear it and stuff. But I have a hard time labeling somebody with that if I don't know for sure that that's the way they are. I mean, that's like a really harsh thing to say, that, you know, like they're that close-minded, you know, without proof.
when you don't know.
Right.
Yeah. I actually, now again, there isn't actual physical proof that hit the news, but there was murmurs of a video that one of the producers or somebody that worked on The Apprentice, they were going to release a video of Trump just dropping N-bomb after N-bomb, but then they bought him out or something. Or one of the producers threatened everybody on the show if they released it. So that came close to being released. So you know what? I take that back. So I guess there was video and audio of it.
Maybe. But it's almost like saying, you know, I heard that you killed somebody, so I'm going to go around telling everybody you're a murderer. I need proof before I can level an accusation that's
true.
strong
We did
at somebody.
not see it or hear it. You're right.
You know, I mean, I'm not trying to be a pro-Trumper, because I'm definitely not. But that's a hell of an accusation to make at somebody without actually hearing it myself.
It is, and it didn't get released. So yeah, until somebody does release it, I guess you can't really believe it. A lot of hashtag fake news.
Right.
Yeah, Now, I understand. Okay, no, I don't understand. I can see why the number of anti-Muslim groups have grown exponentially from literally 2014 to 2016. They just shot through the roof because there's a lot of crap going on, you know. And I was...
Go
ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so like the end of World War II, and that, you know, everybody was like, you know, fuck the Nazis, fuck the Japs, and all this stuff, you know, like stuff like that. And it was a lot of the soldiers coming back because, I mean, they were shooting at each other, so you're going to have some tension there. But this time around,
it's not the soldiers.
It's not the soldiers. Yeah, like all the soldiers coming back are like, you know, no, there's good people out there. They're just trying to live, you know, and they're getting, you know, they're getting killed by these militant groups and stuff,
right.
These radical jihadists and stuff. So it's not just the Muslims, it's the radicals, you know.
When you break it down, it really doesn't make sense why the Muslim hate groups are exploding. Numbers don't reflect the truth. Like, white supremacists are responsible for way more terrorist attacks in the United States than Muslims. Way more. And it makes no sense how the hate on the hate-filled people isn't targeted at white supremacy. They are the white supremacists. They're targeting a group that's only responsible for a fraction of what goes on.
Right, by like burning down churches and
right.
things like that. Yeah, absolutely. You're 100% right.
I remember the first Gulf War, where people were tying yellow ribbons around their trees, and you know, and there was a sense of pride and patriotism. At some point, that wasn't enough for people, and it became just a complete shit show of let's see who can be more American, you know, that type thing.
Right.
Yes.
And it just basically was...
It's false patriotism.
And it became easier for people to get more and more to, however we want to say it, to the right or whatever, okay? To break off of their normal things that their filter, okay? Does that make sense? Their filters have been reduced to the fact now that they're just like, I hate this person, I hate this person, I hate this person. And that's I don't get it. And maybe I'm naive in a way to think that life isn't that damn bad. You know,
Right.
I've been able to carve out a little nook of a life with some semblance of success and stuff. But it's been through hard work and you know and stuff. But I have a house, I have a family, I have good friends. It's not that fucking bad. And I don't understand how people can go on, wake up every day filled with this hate, you know, and just concentrate like that's their 75 years on Earth. This is what they're going to go ahead and just hitch their wagons to. And I don't get that. Because how fucking miserable do you have to be? Go ahead, Woody. I'm sorry.
That's all right. What I think honestly happened is I think that election between Trump and Hillary drew a line in the sand, and it made people get on one side or the other. And
It did.
On the one side, you know, at the far end of that, you've got extreme racists and stuff, and you're making people choose a side on political issues, but then it kind of lumps them in with those other people. And it's like, okay, well, you know, at first it starts off with, like, if you don't believe what I believe, you're wrong. And then it's like, well, your side believes this. Well, then I guess that's what I believe, you know? And it just, it draws people farther from one side to the other kind of thing.
It does. Centrists are almost gone at this point.
Right.
Yeah. And my blame is social media. Because you don't have to have a face.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have somebody standing next to you getting ready to punch you in the face because you're acting like an asshole. You know, you're sitting at your keyboard. You're a keyboard warrior, just trolling everything. You know, YouTube videos or
that
whatever.
puffs up your chest. Even like you didn't see. Okay, before 80s, 90s, yeah, you saw political signs in people's yard. But if you saw a Bush sign or a Kerry sign, you know, okay, you didn't have to necessarily relate Bush to Nazis.
Right.
You didn't necessarily have to relate Kerry to socialists. But
Ketchup.
now that the social media has complete
Ketchup.
I forgot about the Heinz connection there. Younger people are listening to this going, what the fuck are they talking about?
These guys are fucking old. They're going to start talking about Truman.
But you didn't necessarily relate those things. But now that social media, everything you click on Facebook, you see that, you know, Trump is related to this. Trump has done this in his past. Hillary did this in her past. Hillary has to be so far left because one time she did this, you know.
You mean Hillary?
Hillary.
See, and that's the thing. I got so angry at this last election. The Republicans didn't necessarily win. The Democrats lost that election.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because they couldn't find a fucking better person to run against.
I know.
and
Terrible
that
candidate.
was
I think a lot of that was, backroom deals where it was like, you support Obama in this, and we will support you for the election next time. And
Demographically, this should have been set up where we would never see another Republican president. When you look at the electoral map, how it breaks down, a Republican president, Bush should have been the last one, period. There's no way possible. And now, since all this hate has come forward and these people are coming out of the woodwork, it's right back. I mean, the demographics now have changed again because now all the small town America is, for some reason, they're pro-Republican. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me because, you know, it's pro-big business.
right.
You know, it doesn't help their wallet at all, but, you know, but they target social issues. They target abortion, guns,
Welfare.
gay marriage, welfare, entitlements, and act like, you know, this is what affects you and get them to vote with their side. And they're geniuses at grabbing a hold of those hot button social issues. And those are the issues that cause the hate groups to go crazy.
Yeah, and I don't know. I guess it blows me away that there are that many people. And I don't know, has there always been that many people that have this complete hatred, or has it been in the back of their mind like, dude, man, these people have life by the balls. Everything's handed to them, blah, 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 blah. And it stopped at that. And now it's just basically, it's easy. There's enough people that are going to back me up if I, state
I think the people were always there. I do, because I've, without naming names, obviously, people that I've associated with, family members, extended family members. I mean, I've gone to dinner at their house, gone over to their house, and as far back as 10, 15 years ago, and you're still hearing little racist comments, whether it's against blacks or against Muslims. You're still hearing the occasional, just over a casual dinner, somebody will just say something, and they're perfectly comfortable saying it. But they weren't comfortable coming out on social media, and now they are.
Yeah, let me throw out a little proof that it's growing. And I'm referencing it's a CNN piece, so take that for what it's worth.
Yeah.
It says overall hate groups rose over election season. Over the course of the 2016 presidential campaign, the number of hate groups in the United States grew after falling off following former President Barack Obama's re-election. The number of total hate groups has risen 17% since 2014. And it says the recent uptick in these groups is basically current number is double of hate groups that existed in 1999. And then 2011 it was up to 1,018. But they're basically saying that due to this election, now it correlates with the rise of hate groups. So does that make, and let me just throw this out to you guys, and actually, Woody, I'll ask you, did it make people feel more comfortable with
coming out?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. I think they think that their people are finally in charge, or people that think the same way that they do are finally in charge. So they feel freer to voice these crazy opinions that they have. And I think that's exactly it.
Okay, and why has there been such an increase in the black separatist anti-white groups? Is it
because you've got a bunch of white people, like you see all these Klan, like what was the last time before this last Klan thing where the protests and stuff, it was almost like the Klan was dying.
No, the Klan, okay, I was actually discussing this with somebody at work. The Klan, they came to was it the Trayvon Martin shooting? Was that the Cleveland?
No.
Which one was the
that
Cleveland?
One was Florida. I forget. I can't not remember the kid's name.
There's so many things that ran.
It was like the 12-year-old with the BB gun or the paintball gun or whatever.
Well, what happened was, I guess the Klan came to Cleveland then.
But there was like 25 people. It wasn't like hundreds upon hundreds of people. What I was saying was,
right,
when
I
said the Klan was dying, like it was getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and more people were looking at them as like, God, these people are just ridiculous. But then, now it's starting where I'm sure that their numbers are swelling and more people are joining and stuff. So if there was a group out there that was a group of like 20 people that were like, I hate people named George. Then all of a sudden, that group started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. If being a person named George, wouldn't you be like, fuck them? I'm going to start my own group up of people that hate people who hate George. So maybe that's why there's more like anti-white black groups out there, or like the Black Panthers. I don't even think they were anti-white, but it was it was anti-racism, I guess.
Yeah, and
I mean, not
my thing is,
I don't know anything about the Black Panthers. I just think that is like, I'm just kind of guessing, but
sure. And I think it's just proof that there's this powder keg, and it's going to blow up ultimately, unless
God, I hope not.
People,
that's what they want. I think they want a race war.
Yeah, and I don't get that. I just think having these the black separatist groups and the white groups. And the agenda, whatever the agenda is, okay?
Right.
Having that go forward and just having people screaming at each other from across the street or however this wants to kick off. And if you have somebody for 10 hours just screaming what reasons why they hate you, why they hate your family, why they hate your children, and why they think you should die, it's going to ignite into this huge, and that's the problem. I guess what's getting lost in this whole thing is, and the reason I said, hey, I think we need to do hate groups, was I was so disgusted with what I saw that happened with the last protests and stuff.
Right.
I firmly believe that people should have the right to protest. People should have the right to petition, and it's their constitutional right to do that. But it's not your right to incite violence over something like that. And when you have groups of narrow-minded people screaming at each other,
Yeah.
that's what you get. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of like, it's like the right to bear arms. Where does that line drawn? Does it mean you have a right to form a militia and, take a step to overtake the government if it, gains too much control? What is it,
Right.
And
right.
I just think, I don't know.
All right, you guys know where the whole idea like cross burning came from?
No, huh?
Well, I thought, isn't it something to do with like lighting for Jesus, like lighting it up for
Absolutely
for
not.
God?
Absolutely not. It's I guess okay,
That would be Rastafari.
they light it up for.
Lighting it up for God.
Have you ever heard of the author Sir Walter Scott? He was a Scottish poet
No.
and writer. Well, he wrote
Why?
he wrote a
You fucking bastards! I'm back, bitches. Sorry, that's my angry Scott, and I'm in. I got it in.
So, anyways, he was the author of I believe it was like a long form poetry. It was The Lady of the Lake, and it was in there. The Scots had like this tradition of they would burn a cross, but like an X kind of cross. They would light that on fire, and that was supposedly to call all the clans in together to have a meeting, to meet up and that. So they would get on this big hill
okay.
and they would burn a large cross, and that would show everybody that they should get together. And so the clan took that idea as a bring together all the people, but they made it a regular.
I'm shocked by that because it's like today's clan doesn't even know what that's about.
Right.
Because I watched a special last night, a CNN special with, I can't remember the guy's name. It's a black guy who goes around to a lot of these different things and like goes in and does a story about him. And he actually was invited to a cross burning at the Klan as a black man. And he was terrified. And he went to it, and it was all on the special. It was called Shades of America is the special. And they went through the whole history of why they burned the cross, and they never mentioned any of that. That's crazy.
Did they say it was to cleanse and stuff like this?
They said it was just like almost like a gift to God. Like they do it for the glory of God.
Like God thinks it's okay to burn a cross in a black family's yard?
Right.
They didn't
Like
mention
he's
black
just like,
families. They mentioned
good.
that's the ritual
But
they do in the woods.
And see, that's the thing. And that's the part that makes me mad. Okay, here's the thing. And this may come off as wrong, but if you're going to be a racist idiot, okay, just own it.
Yeah.
Don't try to sugarcoat it because a black reporter is standing there in front of you.
And that's
if
what
you
they
get-
did.
If
Yeah.
you get punched in the mouth, you're going to get punched in the mouth because stupid people sometimes need slapped. You know?
Bitch.
And the thing is if the reason is not, well, we do it because it's a call to Jesus. No, they weren't calling to Jesus when they were burning crosses in people's yards.
Right.
That's
Right.
the thing that people, now
Right.
they're going to go, well, we're changing. We're not that bad. We're not your grandfather's clan anymore.
Right.
Bullshit. You know?
That's kind of the stuff they were saying.
Well, and that's ridiculous because when you have a group of people that are like-minded individuals, okay, yes, it makes it easier to be like, I'll use the sun, for instance, okay, because the sun, there's going to be an eclipse, all right? Maybe I don't want that eclipse coming around here every 120 years or whatever, And I'm like, I don't like the sun, but fuck the sun, that type thing. Where it's just, and I get a group of people that all hate the sun, it doesn't make it right.
Right.
And what my thing is if you hate other people's cultures so much, why the fuck do you live in America? It's supposed to be a melting pot. There's no native people to this land. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Well, there are, but we've pretty much killed them all.
Pretty much killed them all off, yeah.
Right. But there, as it stands right now, the vast majority of white, let's just use white America, okay? They're not native to this land.
No.
If you want to go and be a Nazi, then go to Germany and try your hand at being a Nazi over there. And,
I'm telling you,
see
Germans
how that goes for you.
Yeah, they don't want the Nazis there.
Exactly, and neither do we. And
Right.
that's the thing. And, white pride and this and that, I don't get it. It's just fucking stupid. Stop being an idiot. And just instead of focusing all your hate and all your rage on being a douchebag, just put it to something productive. If you think that you don't have it good, or you're not, there's nobody giving me a handout, well, good. Maybe it's because you're working harder than that person, or whatever. Yes, there's lazy people on every side of the fence, okay?
There are.
And there are dickheads on every side of the fence, but that doesn't mean
But there's only Nazis on one side of the fence.
Right. Well, that's true. I've never met a black Nazi. So,
Right.
But and the Nazis, they tried to exterminate not even a race of people. They tried to exterminate a different religious culture than what they were. How can you actually go, you know what, Adolf had it right? I mean,
No, it doesn't make sense.
it doesn't make any sense at all. And it's
And
just
Woody's
stupid.
editing this one, and I hope he doesn't just pull that piece out and throw it at the end, where you
Oh,
just say
God, no.
Adolf had it right.
No.
Yeah, no, my
Because he
God.
could totally fuck with you there.
All right, guys. So I think we beat this to death. Do we have anything else to add on this?
No, I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think we covered it.
Woody, let them know how they can get a hold of us.
All right. You can go to theshufflepod.com, and from there you can email us. You can get all of our Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, links to that. And or you can help us out with the production of the show by hitting our Patreon and donating to the show right from there.
And that's a good deal.
All right.
That's a hell of a deal.
Hell of a deal.
Quarter a show, I think is what we broke that down to,
Yep.
right, Woody?
Yeah, it ends up being like a quarter a show if you do $1 a month.
Unless you're just a white supremacist, then you have to pay more.
Yes.
All right, boys. Until next week, I'll talk to you.
All right. Bye.